Game Time Decisions on the Fantasy Sports Network continues. Really enjoying our conversation with Mike Cardano. Let's keep it rolling right now with Chris Meaney. Chris, it's always a pleasure. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to be here.
So, a ton of stuff to get to here, man. I had to rewrite the script today a couple of times. I was planning, it's funny, yesterday when I told Jeff, our producer, to book Chris for the show today, I was planning on breaking down this big Tampa Bay Montreal game. Football is winding down.
Yep.
Time to start concentrating on the pucks a little bit more. Two teams at the top of the Eastern Conference. But then, boom, NBA trade last night. You talk NBA fantasy basketball here on the network. Yep. Then, boom, this morning, Randy Carlisle, turfed. Yeah. Ton of stuff going on here. Let's start with this deal. I saw your tweet, and we got the best damn ticker in the business. I used to be at a network that we used to say we had the best ticker. This ticker is better. This ticker is the best. I was 100%. Hooked last night watching all the breaking news. And I saw your tweets on our screen last night about, it's interesting. Dion Waiters, disgruntled, offensive-minded, kind of a head case and malcontent. So they trade him for J.R. Smith, essentially. It's like breaking up with Lindsay Lohan because she's too unstable and then hooking up with Amanda Bynes.
Absolutely. No, it really is. They're the exact same player. I don't get it. If you look at their numbers this year.
Except one of them's is young and has upside.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, Waiters does. Absolutely. He's got some upside there. But I know that Smith has been hurt basically all season long too, but you look at their numbers this year, they both shoot 40% from the field. They both average 10 points. They both shoot about a 3 a game. So yeah, it makes no sense from a Cavs perspective. I don't
but
really get it.
No, but doesn't it make it better because they get Shumpert? Isn't it like
sure,
a 2-for-1 deal?
But their biggest issue is somebody down low who can protect the basket, and that's where
especially
I feel
with Verja out now now.
Yeah, done. So, and Tristan Thompson has been fantastic too, and if he's available in your fantasy league, talking fantasy, go and get this guy. But there's nobody to protect the rim in Cleveland, and that's what they need.
And it's funny too because Cleveland's problem is not scoring.
No, it's
and
not.
What does J.R. Smith bring?
Yeah.
And we saw with LeBron out, Kevin Love tear it up right now.
Sure.
This is why Kevin Love is going to bolt because he's going to realize. It's not everyone's like, oh, Kevin Love, he's not playing well. There's only one basketball, man. People don't realize this. I've been saying this for years, and people just think I'm a LeBron hater. Guys are not lining up to play with LeBron.
No.
He doesn't set you up. They're not lining up to play with LeBron. You got Kyrie there. It's a dysfunctional team here right now.
Absolutely. And we said it last time I was on this show. There was a lot of bad habits in Cleveland. And I mean, what, J.R. Smith is going to help that team out? I don't think so. Shumpert does help them out defensively.
Yeah, but you're right. He's a perimeter defender. He's not going to do anything in the paint for them. And we got Blatt, a guy coaching the Israeli league, offensive-minded league we're seeing right now. The NBA's not known for defense, but you got to half-ass it a bit. If you don't half-ass it a bit, we're seeing the Raptors aren't playing defense now, and they're losing games. You can score 108 points and still lose in the NBA. From a fantasy perspective, the most upside here to me is Waiters, in which he goes to Oklahoma City, a team that, hey, bombs away, kid, bombs away.
They basically been trying to find a replacement for James Harden, and it's crazy for me to say James Harden's name in the same sentence as Dion Waiters, but Waiters is going to provide a little bit of a spark off the bench. He's expected to come off the bench. He's going to provide a little bit of a scoring spark. I like J.R. Smith before the trade because it looks like Melo, he potentially is going to be shut down, and he was I think he was actually the 5th most fantasy pickup over the past week in basketball. Before the trade, he's going to get lots of playing time there. But it looks like maybe Waiters with the most upside. But really, I don't like anybody in this deal. Cole Aldridge from the Knicks looks like he's going to get a lot of playing time. This is a guy who's hardly owned in leagues. He's been getting double-doubles here and there, 19 rebounds and 12 points in 5 games ago. So I think he might be the biggest beneficiary of this deal.
One last thing about the NBA that I saw. Kobe Bryant, he's not going to play back-to-back games.
Won't play back-to-backs.
No, he's not. That's it. He's not playing back-to-back games.
Scott's already basically said that. There's 8 more back-to-backs for the Lakers for the rest of the year, and he's not going to play.
So what are they going to do? They're going to pick and choose the front end?
Yeah, they haven't said what it's going to be. They're just one of them. He's going to sit out one of them.
Yeah, we knew. We talked about it before the year started.
Absolutely.
There was upside and downside. The upside, when he's on the court, he's going to take 34 shots a game. But he's not going to play every game. And we called this.
We did call this. And, he's jacking up a lot of shots. And career worst, I think, like just over 30% from the field, too. Is not a great fantasy player, Kobe Bryant. Unless you're in a league with field goals made and no field goal percentage, then sure, J.R. Smith may be a good pickup for you as well.
Okay, so Randy Carlisle, head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs, no more. Fired 21-16.
Probably 40 games too late.
And 3. Well, that's where I'm going with this. If you knew who he was coming into the year,
exactly.
And now you have basically just sort of sabotaged your season, this is reminiscent to me. And like you said, you don't have to compare Waiters to James Harden here. and I'm not comparing Randy Carlyle to Claude Julien, but they probably are about equal as far as coaches are concerned.
Yep.
Claude Julien was fired. I swear to God, I was trying to find the record right before the show, but it was hard to find the exact record.
Habs.
Yeah, he had the exact same record. It was like
it was
21-17, 21-15 type of deal.
Yeah.
Bob Gainey fired him over the phone. The Canadians started out 12-4. They lost like 6 out of 7. Gainey fires Julien. Canadians tumble, don't do anything. Julien goes on, wins Stanley Cups.
And Julien had a great year with Montreal the year before.
Yeah, he went on a playoff run.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
It was only his second year.
Yeah, and then he got canned. Yeah, it was weird. And it turns out Julien actually had, because he went up against Montreal in the playoffs and got to shake hands with Carbonneau. Carbonneau had taken Julien's job.
Yeah.
Julien obviously had the last laugh in that whole
Yeah,
situation.
and then Julien goes to New Jersey, and the same bloody thing happens to him again, and he ends up being a great coach with Boston. So I'm not saying that Randy Carlyle is going to go on to win a Stanley Cup, but
He's a good coach.
But you're the Toronto Maple Leafs. How do you fire a coach, dude, that's 5 games over 500? To me, Dave Nonis should be fired. It's not like they have a great roster. 21-16 is exactly who they are. That's good, in my opinion.
Sure, no, it is, especially in the Eastern Conference where there's really only a couple of elite teams. You look at the Boston Bruins, and they're struggling. The Leafs have a better record than the Boston Bruins, and that's something to be a little bit proud of.
The Leafs have 3 less wins than the Blues. Are the Blues firing their coach?
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Not soon. Yeah. No, you think if it was going to happen, it should have happened after that collapse. You know, they seem to collapse every year after the All-Star break into January, February. And, you know, you think he would, after he lost the dressing room, it looked like he lost the dressing room. Why didn't they just do that change then?
Listen, I'm not going to dispute that. I'm not in the Leafs locker room, but I often hear this, that the players tuned him out. You always hear that, the cliche, they tuned him out.
It does look like that.
They did the same thing to Ron Wilson, who's also a good coach.
Yeah.
It seems to me with the Toronto Maple Leafs, the players are not accountable. It's Burke's fault. It's Carlisle's fault. It's Ron Wilson's fault. Maybe it's Kadri's fault. Maybe Gardner isn't as good as you guys thought he was.
Yeah, well, that's
Maybe Riley wasn't as good as you hyped him up to be. Maybe you shouldn't have given $7 million to Dion Phaneuf.
Oh, well,
There's
that's
a lot of
100%
things
sure.
that
You
aren't
told
on
you that.
Randy Carlyle.
So, sure, okay. So when do the players start to get canned? When do they start getting traded?
It has to be now. Has to be now.
Absolutely. There's a clip I saw the other day on the Leafs about Phil Kessel. They're showing their defensive zone play. Almost 3 minutes inside the Leafs zone, and you don't even see Phil Kessel in the picture. He's outside floating around the blue line. Oh, a pass gets up near the red line, and he just skates off. Phil Kessel, a phenomenal hockey player. But maybe it's time that you just trade this guy and get some pieces. You can get 2 or 3 solid pieces for him, guys who are actually going to work hard and care and try.
Yeah, it's bad chemistry on the club, and that falls on Dave Nonis. Randy Carlyle can only coach the stiffs that he has. And what do you guys think? You think Kadri's going to score 40 goals suddenly? And don't hold your breath that Mike Babcock's going to ride into Toronto and save the day. Why would he want to do this? Unless you hardball this thing and you give him like $10 million a year, right?
You're probably going to see an extension from Babcock over the next couple days.
Oh, yeah, no.
Detroit, so that'll just calm down Leafs.
Yeah, all right, so we only got about 45 seconds here.
Sure.
Daily fantasy tonight for NHL. We got a huge game, man. 2 red-hot goalies, dude. Carey Price and Ben Bishop. Both these guys, goals against under 2 in their last 10 games. Both apiece, just both killing it.
Oh, man. Carey Price is fantastic. 12 goals allowed in his last 9 games. The Habs, as a team, 2 or fewer in 10 straight games. And
I like the under 5.5 tonight.
I love the under 5.5. You're right. You know, last time these 2 teams, 4 times they played last year, it was all 1-goal games. 3 of them went in overtime in a shootout, and there were 2-1 finals. So, yeah.
But it was 7-1 earlier this year.
Earlier this year, it was.
Stamkos got a hat trick. Tyler Johnson, the only good thing I did in fantasy hockey this year.